Okay, number 2 in our countdown is Salvador Dali's 1951 painting, which is entitled Christ of St. John of the Cross. It's available to view at the Glasgow Museum and Art Gallery. Now, interestingly, last September on my reading week, Paul and I went there that day to specifically have a look at this painting, to find that it had been removed as they were doing some restoration work in the gallery. And what they'd done is they put up a large poster of the picture instead outside. Now, this painting is very well known, and art experts talk about its composition consisting of a triangle, which is formed by the arms of Christ along the top, leading down vertically to the feet at the bottom of the triangle of the body. And in the middle of that triangle is a circle, which is formed by the head of Christ placed in the center. Experts say that the triangle is seen as a symbolic reference to the Trinity. And of course, the circle is represented by Christ's head, which represents the unity of the Godhead. Now, though this painting is a representation of the crucifixion, please note it is deliberately depicted without that sort of sense of crushing defeat that you see in a lot of Renaissance painting, because Dali wanted this to be Christ inspired by the narrative contained within the fourth Gospel of John. Gone is the tortured body, gone is the defeated body of Christ, the cross and blood and nails version of the crucifixion so often seen in Renaissance painting. Dali has given us a view of Christ which is different. From the start, the perspective is so different from anything that's gone before. We see the view of Christ from directly above, looking down and he is looking down on the clouds below, and then the earth below that. One might say it's almost a heavenly perspective, indeed perhaps the view of God the Father himself of the crucifixion of his Son. And interesting, the Son shares the same perspective as the Father. His view almost seems to continue and follow on that view of the Father. The fourth Gospel, of course, stressed Jesus as the Son of God, obedient to the will of the Father, doing as the Father had directed him to do and expressed in the Garden of Gethsemane. This Gospel, John's Gospel view account, stresses Jesus in a sense of, even though crucified, is still the master of his own destiny. He goes to his death because he remains obedient to the will of the Father. Interestingly, this painting was voted Scotland's favourite painting in a 2006